And joining us now to talk more about earnings, the emerging markets, and what Wall Street expects both from the State of the Union and the Fed is Byron Wien. He's Vice Chairman with Blackstone Advisory Partners. Welcome back, Byron. It's great, as always, to see you. I could go a million different ways here, and we will get to the markets and emerging markets and the Fed and all of that. But in light of what Steve was just talking about, I know you to be one of the most thoughtful guys on Wall Street. What do you think about income inequality in America, and what do you think, if you see it as a problem, would be the best way to address it?
Well, Steve, I think, did a very good job of talking about the fact that you have to have a number of programs. Income inequality is caused by globalization, it's caused by technology, it's caused by problems in our educational system, it's caused by cultural problems. The number of kids being raised in a family without two parents. It's caused by the concept of education in the United States, where we put everybody in an academic track. We don't have vocational training at an early enough age. So there are a lot of changes that would need to be made in order to bring the people who are disadvantaged up the social and economic ladder.
Byron, that is one of the themes that obviously President Obama is going to be talking about tonight. But, Wall Street is focused on other issues like tax cuts, lifting this debt ceiling. What does Wall Street want to hear from the president, and what will it be market moving?
Well, if he had growth policies, if he focused on growth, if we had ways to increase demand in this country, we would create more jobs. One of the ways to reduce income inequality is to reduce the unemployment rate. One of the reasons a lot of people don't have rising incomes is there are too many people looking for a job, willing to take a job at almost any compensation level. So I think demand is one of the biggest problems we're facing. And there is a lot of demand around the world, but there are a lot of people producing a lot of stuff. So the United States is not the only country manufacturing. We're competing with people all over the world, and many of them are producing quality products at an attractive price.
Do you expect the president to talk much about growth-oriented economic policies, or do you think the focus is going to be on such things as raising the minimum wage, health care, and so forth?
Well, I think he'll talk. I think the president is going to be focused on what's practical. So I think he's going to talk about the minimum wage. I think there'll be a round of applause for that. I think he's going to talk about immigration. I don't think he's going to talk about growth policies directly. I don't think he's going to talk about taxes at all. He just raised taxes on the upper brackets for the Affordable Care Act. My view is that increasing taxes on the wealthy is a non-starter in a Republican Congress.
Byron, I want to skip ahead to the Fed. As you know, Fed policymakers are meeting, and they're going to make an announcement tomorrow. You've said that you're expecting this Fed taper to be a non-event for the stock market. Tell us why.
Well, I don't think the Fed is going to go forward unless they feel the economy has some momentum, and I think it does. My own view is we're going to grow at better than 3% in 2014. But the durable goods orders that came in today were disappointing. Remember, the Fed isn't tightening. It's just reducing the amount of expansionary monetary policy. It went from 85 to 75, but 75 billion of bond buying is still an awful lot of bond buying. If they think the economy is losing some of its verve, they won't take another step. But if they're confident that momentum is increasing, they'll go from 75 to 65 and further steps along the way. It's totally dependent on the pace of the economy. The market and the economy and investors weren't ready for it when Bernanke first talked about tapering in May of last year. But when he did it in December, the market sloughed it off. I think the market is a little ambivalent now, but I think before the year is out, we'll see a lot more tapering.
You know, your Wien's Surprises of 2014, always a great read. Your first one indicates here, you say, we experience a Dickensian market with the best of times and the worst of times. The worst comes first as geopolitical problems coupled with euphoric extremes lead to a sharp correction of more than 10%. then followed by a return in the S&P to a gain of 20%. Are we in, very quickly, Byron, I'm sorry we're running out of time, are we in that 10% correction phase that you predict?
I think so.
Well, that's a quick
That's
answer,
the fastest
Byron,
answer I can
and
give you.
I love you for it. Byron Wien, thank you very much. Have a great evening.
Thank you.
Byron Wien, Vice Chairman with Blackstone Advisory Partners. A man of
That was a
few but great words.